We know Iran is the biggest financial backer of Hamas, but could U.S. taxpayer dollars be funneling into the group responsible for the slaughter of innocent civilians in the attack on Israel? According to one analysis of United Nations funds sent into Gaza, it is a distinct possibility to the tune of hundreds of millions of U.S. dollars. The UN has a relief fund for Palestine refugees that provides support and protections for Palestinians, the UNRWA, the Relief and Works Agency. It receives contributions every year from partnering UN countries. The U.S. is listed as the top donor in both 2022 and 2021 and is outpacing other countries this year with another $200 million worth of donations. According to the UNRWA's donation disclosures, the Biden administration has given more than $900 million to the Palestinian Refugee Agency. As part of President Biden's American Rescue Plan Act, $33 million of COVID relief money was also given to the UNRWA. Richard Goldberg is a senior advisor at the Foundation for the Defense of Democracies. According to Goldberg, 38% of UNRWA money is spent in Gaza. With nearly $1 billion coming from the U.S. over the last 3 years, the portion going directly into the Hamas-ruled Gaza Strip is $350 million. While Biden's admin increased funding, the Trump administration stopped funding the UNRWA in August of 2018, calling it an irredeemably flawed operation, giving $0 to the UNRWA in 2019 and 2020. In 2021, before the Biden administration resumed its donations, the State Department warned the money could end up funding terrorist groups like Hamas. The state memo read, "We assess there is a high risk Hamas could potentially derive indirect, unintentional benefit from U.S. assistance to Gaza." The United Nations does not allow terrorist groups to receive any financial support. ISIS, Al-Qaeda are sanctioned and cut off from receiving assistance. But the UN does not classify Hamas or Hezbollah as terrorist organizations. While the U.S. does consider them a terror group, the UN controls what happens with the hundreds of millions of dollars worth of U.S. UNRWA donations. After the latest installment of more than $150 million U.S. dollars, the agency said, quote, "By providing UNRWA flexibility in how it utilizes U.S. funding, the U.S. also gives the agency the means to prioritize spending where it is most needed, helping us address the agency's ongoing financial challenges. To us, this is a sign of trust and a trait of good donorship that we encourage other partners to follow." The UNRWA has been heavily criticized in recent years. The UN Watch, which is a human rights organization monitoring the performance of the UN, says the Palestinian Refugee Agency employs educators who regularly call to murder Jews, glorifies terrorism, and incites anti-Semitism. On Monday, former U.S. Ambassador to the UN, Nikki Haley, told the Daily Mail the way to stop the money from reaching Hamas in Gaza is for the UN to formally classify Hamas as a terror group. Quote, "It should be easy to condemn a bloodthirsty organization that kills babies, rapes women, and burns whole families. Yet the UN still refuses to call Hamas what they are, terrorists. We must always take a side when it comes to good versus evil, and we will never stop calling out the shameful anti-Israel bias at the UN." In 2018, Haley introduced a resolution at the UN that would have designated Hamas as a terror organization. That resolution failed. The only country that backed the motion was the U.S.
Thanks for watching. Straight Arrow News is on a mission to bring you unbiased, fact-based reporting, and we're succeeding. 2 leaders in media bias monitoring talk to viewers just like you and confirm we're delivering the news right down the middle. So if you prefer a source that gives it to you straight, catch all the unbiased content at san.com.